Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you guys how I made $5 million with my branded dropshipping store within the last 4 years. As proof, I'm going to go to my Shopify dashboard, press the refresh button. As you can see, I started my brand in 2020. I've made £4 million in sales basically, and that converts to around 5 million USD. Now, what's the profit margins on this is around 20% after taxes, and other stats we should go through is probably the average order value. So mine is around £48, which converts to around $60, which is what you guys want to aim for. If you're selling items like for $20, you won't really be making any profit at all. After all your taxes, fees, cogs, ad costs, all your money's gone. So what we're going to go through in this video is how I picked my niche and products. Second, how I built my brand. Third is how I built my store. Fourth is social media presence. Fifth is paid advertising and how to scale ads. And then the last but not least is going through finances, because when you're running £1 million business, you really need to understand your finances. First thing is deciding my niche. So in 2020, that's when I found my niche. I was literally just scrolling through Instagram and I found a paid ad. I was like, oh, I want to buy this product, but it's just too expensive. And I knew about AliExpress, found the same product at AliExpress, and I was like, these are decent margins, let me look into this. So I found an opportunity in the market, and I believed I could do a better job than my competitors. I was a designer, I still am. I specialize in UX UI design, and that's why I always believed in myself that I could do better than my other competitors. I'm very passionate about the niche and products that I chose, which helps when creating content, coming up with content, brainstorming, how you write about your products, and all this stuff. It really has an impact on your operations. You want to also bookmark all your competitors so that you could go back to them later. You want to brainstorm the pros and cons of their websites and ads, and then see how you can do a better job than your competitors. The market I chose is high in demand. My target audience and community for my niche is also very big. The market is fairly competitive though, so I knew I needed to stand out with my brand, website, and product choice. So finding my products. So I started with 20 plus products on my store with one subcategory. I usually recommend 1 to 5 subcategories and 10 to 20 products in each one. This will just give you a better chance of finding a winning product. I now have multiple subcategories in my store that all fit into my niche and theme. And I also have over 2,000 plus products on my store. And that's why I still dropship, because it's risk free and I get the benefit of just uploading products. I try to upload 2 products every day, and my products are usually wow factor products. So how do I find my products? No, I don't use any spy tools to find my products. There's Dropship.io, Minia, there's all these tools out there, and you really don't need to pay or use them. I just focus on finding products that fit my niche on AliExpress. DSers has their own tool, so you can use that as well. And I just like browsing through AliExpress to find my products. I also keep track of my competitors' stores and see what they're uploading. It's a very great way to find products. I also find products from my current suppliers' stores on AliExpress, and I also contact my suppliers and ask them what their new products are and how much stock they have, because that's very important. So these are the type of products that I upload. I upload untapped products, so they're new or they don't have many reviews on AliExpress, and I ask the suppliers if it's a good product or not. And usually with these products, you should sample them in. I upload winning products as well, and I upload new products added by suppliers. These suppliers are loyal suppliers usually, and I've worked with them for many years, so I know that they're uploading high quality products. I also create my own custom product, so I'm not actually drop shipping every product on my store. There are actually a good chunk of them that are custom made. So building the brand identity. Remember, I was a designer back then, so I had experience in building brands in university. So building brands and designing brands is second nature to me. It took a day to decide on my brand name, and I made sure the domain name was available. and I actually used Namecheap. I didn't buy it off Shopify. I designed my logo on Adobe Illustrator, and I chose my brand colors and typography. And usually you want a few primary colors, secondary colors, and just neutral colors that fit your niche. Typography, usually you could just like Google the best fonts for this certain niche, and then they'll literally just give you the best fonts to use. So building my store. Initially I used WordPress with Dropship, and it was terrible. The UX, which is user experience, and a UI, which is user interface, was just horrendous, and I would never recommend it to anyone. I quickly switched over to Shopify to build my store again after 2 weeks, and since then I've stuck with Shopify. I used a free Shopify theme back then. And warning, if you do decide to pay someone on Fiverr to build your store, make sure they are using free themes and not fake paid themes, as Shopify will pick up on this and charge you for that theme. You want to focus on mobile first design, because when you're running paid ads or pushing organic content on TikTok, Instagram, they're going to be coming from their mobile. So that's why you need to focus on mobile. Install these apps. So Klaviyo for email marketing, Yotpo for SMS marketing, DSers to automate the dropshipping process from Shopify to AliExpress, Aftership to keep your customers updated with shipping, and Judge Me for important reviews from AliExpress. So back then I imported products via Oberlo, because that was actually the king of dropshipping apps back then, until Oberlo was shut down and we had to migrate to DSers. It wasn't actually the greatest migration. I prefer Oberlo UI, but you kind of learn, you adapt to the DSers one. Added all the essential policy pages, which I have a video for, and there's about I think like 5 to 10 policy pages that you need to add. And imported product reviews, because it's very important to build credibility and trust when building out your store. Social media. So a lot of you guys actually skip out on this. You only create a Facebook page and basically that's it, which is very lazy in my honest opinion. You need business pages on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. We even have one on Twitter, but we don't really use it. And we basically post organic content every day on Instagram and Facebook. And TikTok is a little bit different because it requires videos, and we don't create enough videos for daily posting. I've never paid for fake followers, and I never advise you guys to pay for them. I ask my friends and family to follow to kickstart the accounts. And you want to be smart and creative with your content. You don't want to just upload garbage and just hope for the best. Use trending audio and post memes that are relatable. Focus on creating content that people want to share to their friends. This is literally the best thing you can ever focus on, and even the CEO of Instagram mentioned this.
If you're trying to evaluate how your videos or anything is doing on Instagram, is definitely the sends. Sends, I would look at sends per reach. So of the people who saw it, how many of them sent it to a friend? Because that tends to be the content that does the best, because it tends to drive the most value for the overall community.
Try to inform or entertain your audience. Come up with captivating captions, and people love transformative videos. Also, your audience will love giveaways. However, I wouldn't start giveaways until you hit like 1,000 followers. And working with micro influencers to build your brand and repost their content. So Facebook ads. This is where the majority of your money will come through. Yes, you can try and make money organically, but Facebook ads, yes, it is very volatile right now, but you can rely on them to consistently make money throughout the year. So when I first started my dropshipping store, I literally had no knowledge of Facebook ads and had to learn from YouTubers like ECOM and Kevin Zhang. ECOM, he is a god of dropshipping, and he doesn't really post on YouTube anymore. He just focuses on ECOM. Kevin Zhang, he's actually a scammer, but I enjoy his free content on YouTube. So I didn't buy any courses to learn about dropshipping, and I don't suggest anyone do. Constantly test new creatives and strategies, even when you find winning ads. So what works for me or another YouTuber does not mean it will work for you. You really need to remember this, guys. And there's so many strategies out there. You just have to test them all. I test ABO, CBO, manual, campaigns, Advantage Plus campaigns, broad or interest, lookalike audience, etc. You just want to test them all. As a beginner, when your pixel is like cold and it's not warmed up, you really want to use ABO campaigns with manual and use interest. Now, I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there that say go broad, and even I have videos like 5 months ago which says go broad. However, ever since like March, interest targeting has been working better for me. And with a new pixel, you do want to put interest in so Facebook knows who your target audience is. Meta are constantly updating the system. Like, the amount of changes they've made over the past 4 years is ridiculous. It's very frustrating because every time they roll out something new, they don't really tell you, they just roll it out, and then your performance drops, and then you're like, okay, I need to change my strategy. You want to optimize your ads for purchase conversion only. People who tell you to run like traffic campaigns, reach campaign, all that, you could just skip that. You don't need it. Different ad formats work better with different products. For me, carousel and images work fine. However, other people will need video ads. Let's say you're selling a product that solves a problem, then video ads will do a better job. Strategy only accounts for 10% of your success when running ads, and the other 9% is from your ad creatives, your ad copy, your products, and your website. And that's why I tell you guys, don't focus too much on the strategy. Analyzing your data and optimizing your funnel. So, you want to analyze your ads after 48 hours of launching them and look out for these metrics. If your CPMs are above $15, then you should test different interests. Don't go too broad if it's not working. Change countries maybe, or test more ad creatives. However, if your CPMs are high, but your cost per click's below $1, then it's totally fine. It just means you're in a very competitive market. Cost per click above $1, then you need to improve your ad creative, your hook, your ad copy, or test other formats. Usually video ads will be more expensive. So if your CTR is below 2.5%, then you need to also improve your ad creative, your hook, or your copy. Your add to cart is less than 1, then you need to switch off the ad or ad set. Remember, this is after 48 hours. You also want to analyze your Shopify store after 48 hours. Look out for these metrics. If your add to cart is below 4%, then you need to improve your product page. I have videos on this, so do check them out. Initiate checkout is below 2%, then you need to improve your cart page. And if your purchase is below 1%, then you may be selling a saturated product, or there's unexpected costs at the checkout, or your product is simply too expensive, or there's no shipping estimate on the checkout page. So what should you do if you find a winning ad? Well, firstly is congratulations on doing that. Now it's time to scale vertically. So you can actually scale the budget between 20 to 50% every 2 to 5 days. Do not scale budgets fast, as it may backfire and go back to the learning phase. Scaling horizontally. So scaling horizontally is when you duplicate the winning ad set, you delete underperforming ads, and you test more ads. You can also keep the same interest or test similar interests when you duplicate it. You want to study your audience group to discover new and unique interests. Creating more creatives. You don't want to just stop creating creatives just because you found a winning ad. You want to find a winning ad, reuse the same video, but edit the first 3 seconds by changing the hook, and there you go, you have more creatives. You don't need to go out and film the whole video again, you just need to change the first 3 seconds. You want to study your video that was winning and find out why it's working better than your other creatives. Same goes for losing ads. You want to find out why the losing ad isn't performing. So how fast should you scale? So it all depends on your CPA, your profit margins, cash flow, and capital. If your profit margins are healthy, then you can actually scale quite aggressively. Of course, that's only if you have the cash flow and capital. There's also another downside of scaling too fast. PayPal actually hold on to your money, so that's why I prefer scaling slowly. If you don't have a lot of capital or a healthy cash flow, and then scale slow. And if your profit margins are thin, then also scale slowly. You can duplicate ad sets as many times as you want. You can even duplicate it like 10 times, 20 times if you want, but it's just harder to manage. And that's why I usually just duplicate it by 5 times, test different interests, test different ads, etc. However, to avoid audience overlap, you want to change the interest. You can sometimes leave the interest the same across 2 ad sets, but really you don't want to push it, because the more ad sets with the same interest, the more likely you're going to have audience overlap, and some won't perform and start underperforming and then eating into your profits. You only want to increase budgets by 20 to 50%. And then you want to let that campaign optimize again at the new budget. The tracking finances on Google Sheets. I know there are apps out there that tracks your profit, your costs, and then just shove it on a dashboard, right? However, as a business, that really doesn't cut it when you're making like millions. So I set up Google Sheets to track all my finances, and I actually worked with my accountant to generate a sheet for you guys, which you can get on my website. You basically update the sheet daily with your orders and any customer inquiries, so you're also keeping track of your customer inquiries. You want to track your income from your sales. You want to track outgoings like advertising costs, cost of goods, and expenses. It also tracks your cash flow. It tracks your profit and loss, and which countries were purchasing from you on a daily basis. It also tracks the blended ROAS on a daily basis. So the last slide is about finances. When you become a CEO of a company and you're running $1 million business, you actually need to start learning about finances. And the first thing you're going to do is apply for a credit card when you're profitable. I don't want you guys applying for a credit card when you're not, because I don't want any of you guys getting into debt. The interest rates are disgusting on credit cards, so only use a credit card when you're profitable. Very important. And I use the Amex Gold card, and I've been basically using that for the past 3-4 years. So you also need to learn about expenses and what you can expense and what you can't expense under the company. You have to submit quarterly VAT returns if you're in the UK. You also need to understand corporation tax, when to pay tax, how much is tax, etc. Self-assessment. If you're a director, you also need to submit your own self-assessment taxes, and usually the accountant will help you with that. And also, that's another point, you also need to find an accountant. For me, it was around the 6-month mark when I found an accountant. Employers and employees NIC. So I didn't know this, but as a UK director, you're gonna have to pay for employees and employers NIC. So as a normal staff, you only pay for employees NIC. Because I'm an employer now, I actually pay for both, and it basically accounts for 25% of my income. It's ridiculous. Monthly PAYE, so you need to submit that and pay to your staff and teammates. You need to make sure you're on top of your cash flow, and there's actually more to finances, but I'll probably make another video on that because there's a very detailed section. But yeah, that's it guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Smash that like button, subscribe to my channel for more content, and peace.